Hello there. My name is Joseph, and I am a singer-songwriter. And what I want to do is I want to make some videos where I talk about the creative life, the writing process, and basically what it's like to make things as an amateur. Because I think that in our culture we have a huge interest in process and the inner workings of really successful people, people with audiences, and those are all really understandable. But what gets brushed over is the vast majority of people who are amateurs, of people who do things in their own time, who can't support themselves to make their creative passion their only job. I mean, that's the reality for most people. So what I'm really interested in, I thought the first thing I want to talk about today is the why, the purpose. How do you sort of keep going? And I think for me, this is maybe the biggest mystery of the whole endeavour. Because, I mean, a little bit of background about me. When I was younger, in my teenage years, now I'm in my early 30s, in my teenage years, I was, when I first got into guitar and songwriting, I was so obsessive to the point where it was like I had discovered the secret of life. This was what it was for me. It was unthinkable that I was going to grow up as an adult and that I was not going to become a professional musician, or at least going to write songs in some capacity for a band for myself or whatever. And then what happened was I got to my early 20s and I was sort of engaged in all this kind of thing, and it just didn't happen, and I didn't make it. And I think that was strange for me, and I tried to forget it for a while. But what then happened was my impulse to keep going sort of just wouldn't disappear. And I realised that this was a part of me which was irrepressible. And I think it's really important to sort of make a distinction here, because in another video I want to talk about the sort of feeling of sometimes when you're an artist you have huge self-doubt. But it's not as simple as, oh, I always want to be creative and therefore I'm going to make loads of cool stuff throughout my life. It's way more complex than that. And sometimes I feel like I just don't have any talent, and maybe, I just have a strange belief that I could do things that I can't do. Other times, it's something which becomes almost like a bodily function. It's like I have to do this thing, I have to, scratch my back, or not to state the obvious, I have to let something out. So what I'm really interested in is that anyone else watching this who has experience of this kind of unrelenting purpose, does it ebb and flow? Has it always been obvious to you? Was there a moment when you found that? And how do you sort of rein that in? How do you deal with it? Does it ever cause you frustration if you can't sort of manifest what you want in your creative life? Do you ever feel disappointment? Do you think that everyone has the sense of purpose? Maybe it isn't as unique as I possibly thought. So if you've got thoughts, put a comment, and I'd like to hear what you think. Thanks.